What are your personal beliefs? Do you believe in a God? Do you have a religion?
No, I don't have any religion. But I
Do you,
I but I like to explore, and then I like, yeah, but I practice just meditation myself.
Mhm. Do you believe in there being a creator, a higher power, a God? Do you believe in that?
Oh, no, I don't know. I believe
Okay.
science as well, but
Okay.
I believe there is a God. Yeah, like
Okay.
some energy.
Okay. Do you believe there's like a being that has power over your life?
Yes, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you kind of believe in things like things meant to be, like I was meant to be in this place at this time, or I was like the day you're born, the day you're dead is set, like you can't change that. Do you believe things like this?
Oh, uh, I think I believe I can change my destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I
Free
can,
will. So you have free
yeah,
will.
yeah, I can, but I can't really change the what I have given,
Mm-hmm.
my like a date of birth and
Mm-hmm.
country
Mm-hmm.
and like my parents. I can't really change that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I think just that was meant to be, but I have my free will, and then I have some conditions, so it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a multi-functional things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm here, and maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's why I have opportunity to be in Saudi Arabia, because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really know about the Muslim before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also the concept of Muslim was a little bit scared a few years ago, because the all broadcast news and Hollywood movie wasn't
Mm-hmm.
were not really like a Muslim friendly.
Mm-hmm. I
Luckily,
agree.
I had a good friend. She's Moroccan, and and then actually before I went to Saudi in London, I used to follow her to go to mosque,
Oh, really?
watch her.
Wow.
She's praying, and then just what, because I'm very curious person. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like want to see, and then I just meditate in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like to go to the that area, the prayer area, even though I'm not
Mm-hmm.
Muslim. I don't know, maybe people they found out that's illegal, but I go
No, you're
there.
allowed to. You're
Yeah,
allowed to. It's
I
not
go there
illegal.
and then just sit down and close my eyes and breathing,
You're
mindfulness.
allowed to. You're allowed to do that. Don't let anyone tell you you're not allowed to do that because you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like it. I like the people, and then also the airport. They do
Mm.
have, yeah. It's, I think it's very strong, very determined. The
Yeah.
religion. I think the religious has to have that kind of strong bond for
Hmm.
practice. Otherwise, it's not gonna keep. So maybe
You're
that's why.
right.
That's
You're
why
right.
Muslim is very strong still.
Hmm.
A lot of
Yeah,
people.
definitely. If you're going to believe in something, you need to like believe in it with conviction and you need to like put the effort in.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
you mentioned about like your belief in God in terms of the mixture of free will and what we call in Arabic is qadr, like which is like predetermined things in your life that you can't control. Like maybe, for example, like you're mentioning the day you're born, things like that, the family you're born into, the day you die, things like that.
Mm.
This is exactly what we have in Islam. It's the same belief that we have free will. So we're being tested in the world. So we have the choice to make. We have choices. We can make choices. Like not everything is like already set. You make choices. You're tested on those choices. So we have free will. But also there are certain things that we can't change.
Mhm.
So like we believe in God, the higher power, God being one, which is really important. We don't believe God to be multiple. It's just one God, a
Mhm.
higher power unto nothing we've seen before. So we can't picture God. God is not a man. He's not a man sitting on a cloud, like in the sort of popularized Christian belief. He's a being that is beyond space and time, that is beyond the universe, that started the universe. So you said you believe in science, which is really great
Mhm.
because we have like a lot of science in the Quran as well. Like for example, we believe in the Big Bang because the Quran speaks about the expanding universe, how God created
Oh,
the expanding universe, and obviously that's how the Big Bang theory came about. Is they saw the universe was expanding, they decided there must be a singular point. So that's like we have that belief as well. So how do you personally believe, or maybe you haven't thought about it too much, but let's sort of go into it. How do you believe the Big Bang start? Wait, do you believe in the Big Bang for a start? Do you think
Yes,
that's fact?
yeah, I believe. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
science. Mm.
It's a fact. Cool. So as the Big Bang being a fact, we agree that the universe had a starting point. That's the whole concept of the Big Bang. The universe had a starting point, and then it's getting bigger, 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 bigger. So that starting point, what do you think caused that starting point? Do you have any theories?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just happening.
Okay, it just
Was
happened.
meant to be.
Yeah. So if we think of like things in our daily life, everything needs to have a cause, right? Like it would be silly for me to say that this water bottle just came from nothing, like it just appeared into the universe. Because we see the water bottle and we know that, like, okay, well, somebody must have made the water bottle, right? It'd be silly for me to say that. You say, what made the water bottle? I say nothing. You're like, what do you mean nothing made the water bottle? Like something has to have made the water bottle. So can something come from nothing?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe some people they believe something happening with the intention. Yeah. Well, maybe as Muslim people or other Christian people believe it. But I didn't really think about the reason of the creating this world. I didn't
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Okay. What's 0 plus 0?
0 plus 0?
Yeah.
0.
Yeah. So this is like the whole like mathematical thing about how nothing can't create something, because 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, no matter how many zeros you put on, is always going to equal 0. So nothing that it's physically impossible for nothing to create something. Does that make sense? Because there are like multiple different like routes you can go down to explain how the universe was created. So you could say nothing created it, like there was nothing, which makes no sense because nothing can't create something. Nothing is always nothing. Like it can't be something as nothing, right? So nothing can't create it. So some people say that, for example, the universe could be created by itself, right? They say, oh, maybe the universe created itself. And then we say, okay, well, this is also something that's impossible because the universe can't exist and not exist at the same time. It's a contradiction. You can't have a universe that exists and a universe that doesn't exist at the same time. Like it's a contradiction. And then another example, people say, okay, maybe it was created by something that was created by something else. And we say, okay, well, that also can't exist because then you end up with infinite regression. So that's something made by something else, made by something else, made by something else. And the thing at the end of the line, that's God, right? So you can't have this infinite regression because it would just never stop. And then the universe would never exist because there wouldn't be something to make the universe in the first place. And then there's the last belief, which is that it was created by something that was uncreated. So this is the Islamic belief, which it was created by God. God is not created. So God exists outside of time and space. So time and space was created by God. God exists outside of it. God is not bound by time. He's eternal. He's not bound by space. This is all like exists in our universe. And he created it and he's the all-powerful being. What do you think about what I just said?
That's beautiful. Beautiful theory. Yeah. Beautiful theory. I mean, yeah, it's, I think, reasonable belief. I think. Yeah.
But if you believe the universe has a starting point, it needs to have a cause. So we've been through the possible options of the cause: nothing, created by something else, created by something that's created by nothing, and creating itself. We've been through every single option. And the only option that actually makes sense, even remotely, is the option of a God. And this is why the belief in God has always been like really, really important to me. Because there's no other explanation, but there's so much proof that God does exist in terms of like the creation of the universe, even simple things like the fine tuning of the universe, like how the world is so finely tuned. For example, if we were even a tiny bit closer to the sun, we would all die. If we were a bit further away from the sun, we would all die. Like if the oxygen levels changed even a few percent, we would all die. Like the world is so finely tuned for our existence. Every single thing, even like we're so weak, even the tiniest change, we would all die. These are the kind of things that make me think like there is a creator that created this so beautifully, so specifically for us to live.
So how do you see the evolution of human being? Because science, they said we are from monkey, or like I don't really like that, but
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm so glad you brought that up. So, as Muslims, we believe in evolution, but not Darwin evolution. There's two different sides. So, evolution is like the evolution of humans, like humans getting stronger, natural selection, maybe things like that. But Darwinism is something very different. So, Darwinism is taught in school as fact, but it's not fact, it's a theory. It's always changing, by the way. So, like, there's third wave Darwinism that's happening now. Darwinism is constantly changing because they're getting new evidence and they're scrapping the old thing. So it's not like this set theory that exists, but they're going, okay, maybe this skull could have been human. And then a bit later they go, okay, no, this is not part of the human species. They're like constantly changing it, and they're constantly like, it's not a fact is the point I'm trying to make. And another really important thing about Darwinism, let's say Darwinism is true, which by the way, there's no proof for that. Darwinism doesn't explain the first cell. It doesn't explain how the first cell came into the universe. It doesn't explain consciousness. It doesn't explain anything like that. So it doesn't actually explain at all like how humans started, how the first cell started that became a human, how consciousness came into us, how we're able to ration, have thought and feelings and think. It doesn't explain any of that. It's just a theory with lots and lots of holes in the theory as well. What do you think about Darwinism?
Personally, I don't really like that. I don't really like that theory. I mean, but still, the monkey and that kind of species still existed. So I don't know, but I'm not really like a science person. Like I didn't really like a math or that kind of things. I'm just a literature woman. So it's not like a feel. Personally, it's not romantic.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. But my ancient people are monkey. No, I don't want to believe it.
Yeah. There's no evidence that it's true. There's no evidence that it's true. It's all assumptions. Even Richard Dawkins in his book mentions like that how in the future we're probably going to have to abandon Darwinism because new facts are going to come. So this is just how it is. It's just like constantly changing. No one knows what it is. It's just some theories. But it's being taught in some schools as fact, but it's definitely not fact. And you can like research that in your own time as well. That actually is missing a lot of the links. A lot of assumptions are in there.
But do you study this with the related with the Muslim, or do you just only personally you like the science or math?
Interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously I studied at school like science and math and things like that. And before I became Muslim, when I was going on my search, I did do all this research into the existence of God, looking at the evidences against the existence versus the evidences for the existence. And the evidences for the existence are way, way, way huge. Like there's so much more than the evidence against. There's like no evidence against, it's just, again, it's assumptions. Things like Darwinism I looked into because at school we were taught Darwinism as a fact. We weren't ever questioned, that we didn't question Darwinism. Again, like these are all things. And then when I eventually decided that, yes, there is definitely a God, like there is no way. Like, for example, if you went into a room and you saw a Mona Lisa painting and you said to somebody, who painted this? And they go, no one painted it. It just like, I just randomly had these paints in my hand and I fell over and all these paints fell on a canvas and the Mona Lisa appeared. You'd be like, you're absolutely crazy. Like this Mona Lisa painting, there is no way that it could just appear out of nowhere because someone dropped some paints. It has to be made by something. And this is us, like human beings, we're way more complex than the Mona Lisa painting. Our eye is more complex than a camera. Our brain has more connections in it than the stars, than there are stars in the universe. And there's so many stars in the universe. Like we are so complicated. Every single human being has a different fingerprint. Think how many human beings there are in the world, but we all have a different fingerprint. Like we are so, so, so complex. To say that we just appeared, like to say that we weren't made, like it's, in my head, it's like it's such a weird thing to say when you wouldn't look at a Mona Lisa and say that it just appeared out of nowhere. You wouldn't look at a phone and go, oh, the phone just like appeared out of nowhere, like it just somehow came together by chance. So like this is for me when I think about God, this is how I'm like, okay, well, there has to be a God. And then I went on the journey of finding a religion, because if you believe in God, then you most likely will believe that God is trying to connect with us in some way. God has sent us some kind of handbook, you know, like a phone comes with a handbook that you can read. Like humans must have some kind of handbook telling us why we're here. How do we live our lives? What do we do if we feel sad? You know, things like this. And I went into all the different religions. I looked at all the different religions. And out of all the religions, Islam by far stands way stronger than any other religion in terms of so many different facts, which I'm not going to go into because it could be so long unless you want to know about them. And I was like, yeah, Islam has to be the truth. And then I chose Islam as my religion. And then I've been Muslim for 5 years now.
Oh, 5 years.
Yeah.